Hello everyone and welcome to one of the most fun combos in FIA in quite a while. I've got to say I thoroughly enjoyed this race, I really did. Now sliding P2 here, and we're actually going to have two races in this one, believe it or not just one. So I'm sliding P2 there, you saw that as we go down the grid here. And yeah, it was just brilliant fun, and I continued to do the races irrespective of my position because it was so fun. That's what I enjoyed. As we get towards the end of the grid now, we see a Z4 there, which is unique. Antonio risking it with a GTR. Personally, I wouldn't risk it in a GTR because we are in the wet at Spa, which obviously means MR cars dominate as we're now going to kick off this first race. Now, I didn't know what to expect. I'd obviously not practiced, as I usually do. I just turn up and play. So I was actually fairly happy with P2. Matty had absolutely dominated qualifying, so was literally in P1. So I was hoping to try and keep up with Matty, maybe have a little battle with Matty. But it's pretty much not going to happen because, as I say, Matty definitely had practiced because he was flying, and fair play to Matty for flying away like he does here in this race. But then obviously that means maybe I'm under pressure from a little bit of slipstream. We've got McGee there, we've got Vazias Leo, I've not raced before, we've got Nisman in there of course, it's Akawa who's in the Peugeot RCZ, and actually the Peugeot actually being fairly competitive again. It's nice, you know, balance of performance in my opinion is going in the right direction, and it's really good to see. We advanced a bit further on, and yes, we're on lap 6, so you can see I just pulled away and Matty pulled away from me. So at this point I was just like, do you know what, let's just pit, let's just have some fun. You know, I don't really care about Nations Cup that much. I just fancy a nice, decent little bit of race, little bit of action. Let's have some fun. So into the pits we go as we just get in there. So here we go. Wet. No need for the fuel. As we get F1 noises because we sped up 300%, and out we go. So you can see everybody overtaking us now. So that's P7. I can't remember where we come out here. We've got P8 and we're going to lose P9 as well. So we'll drop down to P10. From P2 to P10, so we've got a lot of work to do. We have 5 laps essentially remaining, so you know, there's lots of laps there. As you see, Mark get all sorts of sideways through Eau Rouge and Radion there, and yeah, what a race we've got coming up for you now, folks. Trust me, you do not want to leave. Sit back, relax, and enjoy some of the racing about to come. So we're going to head towards Lake Home now. Obviously, we're on the better tyres. You didn't need to pit in this race. Well, probably should have mentioned that. Well, that's why the reason why I went in the pits. So obviously, I'm going to have a little bit better tyres. However, I still got to make the overtakes. And as you can see here, Mark takes it quite tight here. I tried to go for the move. Wasn't going to work really without a crazy dive. So I pulled out of it there as we head down towards this long right-hander now into the braking zone. Very easy to go deep here, as I nearly did. But I pull it back, staying in second gear, rolling the car through the corner. Right behind Mark here as we head towards this left-hander. Very tricky left-hander here. And you see Mark just gets it wrong there. Hits those little cones on the left. These stick out the ground, the bollards, whatever you want to call them. So it has to run wide there. I saw that coming. I got on the inside, accelerate away. Happy days, up into P9. And now we've got Let's Go Champ in P8. So let's see. If you don't know what that is involving, forget about it. It's KSI and Logan Paul all over again. Anyway, let's continue on here towards the right-hander. So we've got quite a lot of work to do here in terms of catching up to Theo. We're going to get past then Jones, it's Akawa, and so on and so forth, all the way back to P2, which is our goal in the end. Let's go to this TV camera, though. The beautiful TV camera. I absolutely love this camera, honestly. Like, literally, I can't wait for Gran Turismo 7 when we have 120 frames, 4K, and this TV camera. Oh, my word. I mean, it looks ridiculous. Oh, look at that. Sideways. Absolutely sideways for the champ there as we continue on through. But, oh, my word. It looks beautiful. Like, how can anybody not look at this and just go, yeah, do you know what, Gran Turismo? Fair play. Fair play. We continue on, though, heading towards Blanchimont here. Line astern through. There we go. And obviously at this point I might be looking to try and get a move done as we head towards bus stop chicane, but I was a bit too far back there, didn't want to chance it. Of course, I'm here for a bit of fun, so I'm not going to just do ridiculous dives from Narnia to try and gain a position. I want to have some clean, fun battling, and that's my goal here in this race. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to jump back on board with yours truly, and let's see what we can do in terms of overtaking Theo Champ in towards turn 1. Not going to happen here. Gets it stopped, but runs a little bit deep here, so I think, ooh, let's go on the inside, but Theo gets a much better exit there. So we're going to pull in behind here as we head back up to Eau Rouge and Radion. So we continue on now. Now, obviously, this isn't a too wide corner, so you'll see me letting off a little bit here. Now, one of the key things for rain, and I suppose a lot of people want tips for rain and wet weather racing, is we get a good run through Radion there, and we're going to go side by side here with Theo Champ. I'll get to the rain tips shortly as we head down towards the Lake Home. It's side by side. I was hoping for a bit more slipstream there. Jones tried to give a little bit there to the champ. But as we head towards the right-hander of Lake Home, Theo just backed out of it there. So another position gained. We've got it stopped. Happy days. VLX Jones, you are next, my friend. You are next. As we come through this right-hander now. And we're catching very quickly. See up ahead, McGee and Isakawa there, side by side there. Peugeot versus Honda here into the right-hander. Isakawa goes a little bit deep, pushes McGee off there. McGee's going to come back. I did see this happening like in slow-mo basically. So at this point I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to get two moves here because McGee's going to have dirty tyres and Jones potentially going to make a move here. So if I follow through, I should be able to get both at some point because they'll be running slower than what I am. So Jones actually goes for the move here, and at this point I'm like, okay, I'll back out of this, see what happens. McGee runs deep. I think there might have been a tiny little bit of a touch, not too sure. But 2 for 1 on Tuesdays, because it was a Tuesday, of course, it was Nations Cup. Happy days. 2 for 1 offer, we get P6. Now we're in Super GT's position. And maybe we should try and send somebody to the realm. No, we won't send anyone to the realm. Don't worry. We've already just seen a realm entry back there. Anyway, let's continue on. We're catching the Peugeot RCZ now. So, while we try and catch up to the Isakawa in that Peugeot RCZ, let me explain rain driving just a little bit more. Now, the key to rain driving, wet weather driving, is to not use the brake. And you're probably like, what the hell do you mean, Tidge? So, in Gran Turismo, and I've talked about it in my driving school in terms of the braking, you know, the pendulum effect under braking, slight micro movements in the car where braking efficiency is reduced. What you want to do is reduce braking because there's less grip here. So if you brake, the rear is going to want to come out more and more and more. So don't brake or do very soft braking. That way the weight's not moving as much in the car. And what happens then is it means the car is going to brake more efficient. Now, what you saw there into the bus stop chicane was me overlaying. That's the other thing you can do. If you have to slam on the brakes, just dab the throttle a little bit. Keep the car straight. Remember, if you overlay, you're forcing the car to understeer, not oversteer. Okay? If you're braking, you're potentially going to have oversteer. Here, I'm forcing some understeer rather than oversteer. The car's going to brake a little bit better. You might go, well, you're accelerating. You're increasing your braking distance. I am. You're quite right. I am increasing my brake distance. What I'm also doing is reducing the brake distance that I would have had if I had oversteer. So, you know, it's one of those IQ memes, you know, with a thinking thing. So that's what you do in terms of wet weather. You also want to, you know, balance the throttle a lot more. No hard accelerations. As we go up Radion now, we're going to hit this Peugeot very quickly, and to the inside we go. Look at that TV camera, by the way. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. Peugeot and Honda side by side as we hit Lake Home. And you see Elias there, and the Russian, they go a little bit deep here, so we caught up to Elias at a fair pace of knots here. Shouty boy, Antomix as you might know him, and we head down towards this right-hander now. So, obviously, we're going to try and get a move done quickly. We can see the, I think it's a Russian up ahead. Got a penalty there, 1.5 seconds. That's very unfortunate. And look how close we are to Antomix here. Look how close. We're not hitting him either. So, you know, that's just being clean, balancing the throttle as we come through this left-hander now. So I'm thinking, oh, excellent. Here we go. A bit of oversteer, try and get round. Don't quite get it this time. So what I'm going to try and do is show him a bit of a dummy and hope he falls for it. But Elias doesn't fall for it this time. So, you know, fair play, Elias. Don't fall. You didn't fall for the dummy that time. Fair play. But we're going to have some cracking racing now. Look at that TV camera. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? But Elias goes defensive here. So I think, okay, round the outside. Here we go. Went a little bit deep here. So I dropped a second to try and stop the car. You know, engine braking there rather than using the actual brake. Elias gives me plenty of room. I'm on the inside. Elias on the outside. Through we go, side by side. A lovely bit of driving, if I don't do say so myself. As we continue through the right-hander now, and we're going to head onto the acceleration period here. This is very sketchy, this corner. Look at the bouncing of the throttle there. Just really balancing it like really nicely so the weight isn't shifting too much. That's the critical thing in wet weather conditions that people don't realise. It's all about weight transfer. You reduce the weight transfer, you will drive faster in the wet conditions. Now, we are going to do a full driving school episode on it. It's a bonus episode, I think, actually. Obviously, we've still got quite a few episodes to go in that. So, driving school will finish in the year 3000. We will be living underwater at that point, so wet conditions will be perfect. As you can see there, just went a little bit deep there with a slipstream and a bit of dirty air, a little bit deep. Obviously, a bit of inefficiency with the braking there as well. But no, driving school is coming back this week. But we're going to continue on now towards La Source. And we're going to overtake this Russian anyway, because of the penalty. And then we've got one more place to go. We're going to catch Nisman. But we've only got 1.5 laps to get it now. 1.5 laps. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, we're going to continue towards Ocean Radion, obviously the most famous corner on this circuit, as we hit the left and then the right. Notice how I just dabbed the brakes there, and the brake, even dabbing that brakes, caused a little bit of oversteer. What you will see maybe in parts of this video, I'm not sure. I actually dropped to 4th gear instead, get the engine braking working. But you can see the Russian taking the penalty. Through we go into P3. 3 seconds we have to catch in 1.5 laps, essentially. Can we do it? I mean, we're 4 tenths purple there on Matty's time, but obviously this is fresh tyres and a much lighter car with the fuel load. This is the final lap now. We're 1 second behind, so that's 2 seconds in a lap. Ooh, tasty. But here we go with Nisman then. Can we overtake Nisman before the line? It's alright catching someone. You've got to overtake them. That's the critical factor here as we hit the right-hander and head down towards this long right-hander. Let's actually look at it from Nisman's rear bumper here. Look at this. What a camera this is. The rear camera is back. We've missed it for a couple of months now, actually. But when you watch this, I'm just like, oh, this has got to go in a video. This has to go in a video because look at this. Look how good it looks. So you can see the spray from Nisman in the Porsche. We're in the Honda NSX. As we head towards Puan now, into the braking zone we go. Watch the Honda there, watch it. It's going to start losing the rig, see it balancing, and you're going to see that oversteer start to kick in there. A little bit of oversteer from the Porsche there as well. As we head towards the right-hander and the long chicane, technically I would call this in the end. And we hit that. Now you can see the grip difference there with the fresher tyres. As we then hit the left, this one went a little bit deep on the first part. We're going to come back here, got a lot more grip on the exit. Now we're going to look towards the outside. Remember, this is right-hander, so that's the outside now. Not going to quite work here. Slight tap as Nisman loses the rear tiny bit there. As we continue on now to this fast right, as we then going to head up to Blanchimon. He gets it all sorts of wrong here. We're going to have the move on here as we now continue towards Blanchimon. And we're going to be side by side. Side by side, Blanchimon is incoming, folks. I hope you're ready for this. Watch this for some supreme driving. So we're going to hit Blanchimon side by side. I get a bit of oversteer to try and cancel it. Nisman gives me loads of room as well as we head towards the chicane here. Oh my word, what a bit of driving that was. I love you, Nisman, for that. What a brilliant piece of driving. So I was very cautious here with Nisman at the end, and a lot of people actually said you just gave him tons of room. I did. I enjoyed the fact that we went side by side in Blanchimon, to be honest. We have a run to the line here, but Nisman's just going to get it. I don't really care about my position in some of these races. I like being in like the podium sort of area, but who cares? That was a brilliant race. I loved it. And yes, I could have had P2. But I wanted to race again anyway, so it doesn't really matter, and Nisman benefits from it all anyway. Anyway, we jump into that this is the 3rd race, actually. I did do another race in the Peugeot RCZ, didn't go quite as well. It wasn't as fun. But this, same situation as the first race. I was out in the lead, I was about 6 seconds ahead, and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to pit again, and I'm going to have some fun. But this time we come out in P5, not in P10, where we came out originally. We've only got 4.5 seconds to catch up. But we're still going to make some moves here as well. So let's see what we can do here as we head towards Lake Holmes. So we're in the Audi this time, not the Honda. And the Audi is more my preference. It suits my driving style a lot more than the Honda. Obviously, I've used it for about 5,000 years, the Audi. So more than likely it will suit my driving style, of course, because I'm so used to the car. But you can see coming through here, balancing that throttle very, very nicely as we head down towards this right-hander now. And you can watch the braking. Look at that tiny bit of overlay there. What's that? What, 3 to 5% of the accelerator being used there to stop the car with the braking as we then hit this left-hander here. And through we go. So we can see 3 cars there. The good thing here is actually, I haven't mentioned it, although I'm pretty sure I will have put this in the video title. We are racing the GT Academy winner. The very first... Oh, wow. Puan was a bit dodgy there. My word, I forgot about that one. Went a bit too deep. But yes, we are racing the GT Academy winner. The first ever GT Academy winner, Lucas Ordonez. What a legend he is. And I said this in a tweet, actually. Lucas probably started my racing esports career. So obviously I saw the first GT Academy in 2008 and I was like, I want a piece of that. Now I did try a little bit. It was Indianapolis, I think it was Indianapolis road course twice, but in different cars. I can't remember off the top of my head. Somebody I'm sure will mention it in the comments. I'm pretty sure it was a road car and a race car. And then I was going to have a move here, a let off from the Honda there. So happy days, through we go. But yes, it was Indy road course. I had a quick go at it. I didn't really do much because I didn't have a driving license at the time. And then obviously in 2010 we had the Igor demo. and it was GT Academy demo, so that's when Jordan Tressant won. And then in 2011 was when Jan won, and that's when my first national final was. So, you know, it was all good. And here we go against Rodovento. So I got a bit confused here. Rodovento puts his hazards on here. So I think, is he letting me go? Is he letting me go? He's not. And then I thought, oh, okay, maybe he's letting me go here because he broke really early. And I was like, oh, whoa, sorry, Rodovento. So big apologies for Rodovento there. I didn't actually mean to go for the lunge. I was very, very confused. And I said this on the stream as well. Very confused by the hazards. I wasn't sure whether you were letting me go or not. So apologies for that. Now, obviously, at this point, I realised we're racing. So I'll just let Rodovento come back in here. And I'm thinking, I'll just have Rodovento on the Kemmels straight. So through we go. And you can see the acceleration we have here. So we're racing another Porsche again. Oh, we're going rear camera again. Look at that. Look at that Audi. Looks mean. I'll go get you. I'll go get you, son. As we head up to our Rouge and Radion. Look at this. Through we go. What a camera. Oh, I love that camera. But you can see the run we get as we did previously. So Rodovento basically gives it up at this point. Let's jump over to the Audi now. And let's have a look at Rodovento from the rear bumper of the Audi. Or eventually we will see a Porsche. There we go. So we'll chuck it back in here as we go into the right hander at Les Cônes. And then into the left. And unfortunately we're going to have a bit of a big F moment here. Wait! Ouch. That thump is kind of hilarious, to be honest. It's why I shut up a little bit. But sorry to see you crash like that, Rodovento. But a cracking bit of racing there with you, my friend. It's just a shame to see you actually crash like that. Sorry, it's a bit of a funny crash. I was laughing about it as well on stream because it was just like a slow drift off and then just a boom. Game over. Anyway, let's continue on with the racing now. We've got two more positions to make. We've got McGee up ahead here, and we can see Lucas in the difference. Remember, on the first race, it was 3 seconds we made up in a 2 seconds we made up in a lap. We had to make up 3 over 2 laps, and that was tough. So here you can see McGee. Now, as I've always said, a Rouge Radion, not a too wide corner, especially not in the wet anyway. So you're going to see how I do it here. See, I'm letting off, and I'm just going to drop to 4th gear. Notice no brake here. Balancing the throttle, manages the weight of the car. Through there I go. Then I can just keep on the throttle. No change in the weight balance because it's all over the rear at the moment. I can continue on if I can get my words out there. McGee goes defensive here, but really it's not much he can do there, to be honest with you. I'm always coming past in a month for Sundays, and he lets off there, realises it's game over in terms of Les Cônes. So through I go. Just one to go. The first ever GT Academy winner. Question is, can we do it? Can we do it? Well, let's jump a little bit further ahead in the race. Here we go. It's me versus Lucas Ordonez. It's a second gap here. Can we do it? So through there we go. We're going to head towards Blanchimont now. And trust me, this is some brilliant racing. If you want to see pinnacle Gran Turismo racing, you've seen a lot of it in this video so far, I imagine, but this is the sweetest of sweet spots. I mean, Blanchimont was brilliant. Maybe Blanchimont was better, actually. I don't know. But this is brilliant. I can't even get it out. Lots of B's in there. Anyway, let's continue on with this. We hit the bus stop chicane. Another B there for you. And through we go. And then into the left-hander. So we're very close here to Lucas Ordonez. I think that's actually the RJN livery or the Button GT3 Honda livery that he's got on as well. So shout out for that one as we head towards turn 1. Less sauce here. Into the braking zone we go. And you see Lucas ran a little bit deep there. As we continue out of there now. And Lucas is going to struggle here to defend from me, of course, because we've got the Kemmel straight coming up. Slipstream is very strong in this game. We do know this. As we hit Eau Rouge now. Lovely stuff. Head towards Radion. Through we go. And you can see the line is stern there. But we're going to have a bit of slipstream here. So I'm thinking, oh, excellent. Here we go. Now, the Honda is slightly quicker at the top end of 5th and then into 6th than the Audi. So you're going to see I pull alongside here. And when I switch to 6th, do I switch to 6th? No, I don't, actually. I thought I did. But never mind. Look at the TV camera now. Just look at it. Oh, pure driving. Pure racing. Unbelievable. And I knew what Lucas was going to do here and go a little bit deep. So I was like, I'll have this. I'm going to do the cut back here. Get the grip out the corner. Remember, point and squirt in the wet conditions. Happy, happy, happy days. And all I had to do here was stop the car on the corner. And you see I stop it. And Lucas initially goes for the acceleration. Can't quite do it. Has to back out of it. But superb driving. That is what I love about this combo. It allowed people to... I was expecting carnage, if I'm honest. I was expecting pure carnage. It's wet conditions. And I just had a superb night of racing. A superb night of racing. And I'm not sure you can beat it, really. I love this kind of thing in Gran Turismo because there's nothing more that you can ask for. Clean racing, fast racing, Side-by-side racing, everyone being respectful, everybody having fun. What else can you ask for from a racing game? Now, yes, you could argue more simulation, more this, more that. But at the end of the day, all I want to do is race. You know, I don't care if this game is more simcade than simulation. I don't care. I just want to have some fun racing at the end of the day. I don't know the difference between a GT3 car in real life and this. I've never raced a GT3 car. I could tell you the difference between a Nissan GTR on the Silverstone National Circuit versus the Silverstone National Circuit in Gran Turismo Sports. If Silverstone existed, it doesn't, by the way. I'm not giving you any hints there towards, oh, a new track's coming suddenly out of the blue. No, it's not. But we continue towards Blanchimont now. Through we go. Again, no braking, just balancing out throttle, and we head towards the bus stop chicane. I really, really, really do hope you've enjoyed this video because, as I say, this was bloody brilliant racing, if I'm honest. Bloody brilliant. I was so happy to have this racing, to race Lucas Ordonez, Nisman side by side at Blanchimont, just everybody who's been in this video who I raced. Thank you so much for the good clean racing. Happy days. I hope to have more races with you very soon. But that's going to be it for me now, folks. Again, thank you so much for watching the videos. Thank you so much for the support over the past few months. It's been nuts. And I look forward to seeing you in another live stream or video. The live stream for this is down below, by the way, if you want to watch more. Live stream or video down below. But that's going to be it for me now, folks. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.